what should Jermell Charlo do next after a decisive loss to Canelo? Well, I would say this. I would say that, pretty much take a break. Jermell Charlo has worked his ass off over the last decade, man. The guy became an undisputed champion at 154. The guy lost his belt and got his belt back against the guy that was very high on thinking he was a much better boxer than Charlo as well, too. Charlo has achieved everything that you possibly could do in boxing. Okay, and he got to the pinnacle last Saturday against Canelo, and he got overwhelmed. Well, I'll keep it real, but did he get beat down? I don't know about that, because a lot of you guys didn't want to show no pictures of Canelo after the fight, but I looked right at Canelo, and Canelo had a lot of red marks and glove spots and everything all around his face. When I looked at Charlo after the fight, Charlo looked like how he always do. So did he really get whooped, or did Canelo just have a decisive win? I think Canelo just had a decisive win. Canelo didn't break anybody in that fight. Let's keep it real. He just fought against a guy who thought that he was going to be a lot better than what he really was. And it just couldn't happen, because the thing is, Canelo was cutting off that ring. He wasn't giving you anything easy. And it just simply was a ring IQ thing. And it was just that Canelo's a smarter fighter. That's all it is at the end of the day. Derrick James wasn't going to be able to save him. Now, Derrick James wasn't going to be able to save him because Derrick James is not fighting. That's the whole thing. A trainer can tell you whatever they want to tell you, but once you jump in the square circle, it's a whole different animal, okay? And I truly feel that you guys are going a little bit too hard on Derrick, because you guys didn't have all this energy for, say, Eddie Reynoso when he lost 4 in a row. He lost Valdez, and he lost with 2 other guys who were a little bit smaller, and then he lost Canelo Bivol. Nobody said, hey, all those guys need to fire Eddie Reynoso. No, they all said that, you know what, it was on the boxer. Eddie did what he had to do. And that's not totally true. You know what I mean? That's because you keep going with the same game plan and it didn't work. And that's what happened. And you didn't know how to adjust to this type of fighter. And it really comes down to how good is your fighter. And I felt like, in the Bivol Canelo situation, that was just skills and a guy being a little bit more heavier than you. But that was more about skills, you know what I mean, and IQ. And that night, Canelo was being a little too cocky for himself, and he got beat. But I would think that he would perform much better in the next go around with Bivol. I truly do. I think that it's going to be a much closer fight if they ever do have a rematch. But we got to live in what we're doing right now. And pretty much, I do feel that Jermell is still an exceptional fighter. He's still a guy that, if you like it or not, he's going to the Hall of Fame. You once you get undisputed, they can't deny the Hall of Fame from you. All right. I seen them put guys in the Hall of Fame that never even really won belts. They just put them in the Hall of Fame because who they got beat up by. Okay. So don't ever get it twisted that they're being that honest with the International Boxing Hall of Fame. Just look at some of the guys in there and say to yourself, does that guy really belong in there? And then look at the guys that haven't made it. Do they really belong in there? It's all about who you rub shoulders with at the same time, too. That's why you boxers need to be a little bit nicer to the media, bro, because they're the ones that hold the votes for the Hall of Fame. I know that they say what they say. They have their opinions and everything, but they do have a respect for you guys as well, too. And see, this is where Charlo really messes himself up. He always made himself be out to be the villain. And then when it came to the week of the fight, he turned into this happy-go-lucky, nice guy who was just happy to be here. He turned into Joshua Clottey. And I knew that off top that he wasn't going to win this fight. Even though I was going to bet him, I knew I was about to lose my money. I knew I was giving up charity because he had already pretty much agreed to just getting paid and surviving. And that's what happens sometimes when you're dealing with a power figure like Canelo. And it sucks that he had to be a pawn in a very deep chess game, but he did his part. Now he can go back down to 154, or he can go campaign at 160 and continue his career. I don't think that he's going to fall off after this. What he's going to do is he's going to get better after this. You know what I mean? And I think that, a lot of people, you're just being a little bit too hard on the guy. The guy went in there and he just didn't meet the expectations that we put on him. We wanted him to be great, but he just didn't do it because there's levels to this. And Canelo just was overwhelming, and he ain't the first one this has happened to. And you know what? He's not going to be the last one it happens to. He can take this loss, go ahead and mental note it, and say to himself, I'm never going to get humiliated like that again in the ring. And it wasn't that he got humiliated because he got beat on. He got humiliated because the way that the perception that was given after the fight. And you guys literally are acting like you could jump in the street and fight this man. And no, you cannot do that because he will park you. Okay. So I truly do feel that Charlo, he could have done better, but I'm proud of him, man. He got his money. That's what it's all about. And I explain this to you guys because I've been around a lot of boxers. I've been around your favorite boxers. I've been around the boxers that you hate. I've been around trainers. I've been around promoters. It's all about the money at the end of the day, bro. It's all about the money. Stop saying pride and all this other mumbo jumbo stuff that makes you feel better about yourself when you're watching the fight. It's always about the money. I saw people up there, oh, you're just fighting for the money. Duh. He didn't sign up for free. Come on, dude. They say you fighting Canelo, you get $15 million. Oh, you just fighting for the money? No, you're fighting for your family. You're fighting to make sure that they don't have to do no stupid 9-to-5 job like the person who's mad about this. So it is what it is at the end of the day. He did business, and that's how business works in the business. Okay. And Charlo, you know what? He'll learn from this, and I promise you, he'll never put on a performance like that again. Sometimes people need to get their N-word wake-up call. You know what I mean? And me and a few friends have been laughing about this for the last few weeks. And Charlo was the line one was ready for Charlo after Saturday night, and he had to realize that sometimes when you go from villain to the hero, it might not be a good look. So just keep them hating you, and then eventually, by the end of the day, they're gonna love you because you never switched out on who you truly were. And that's why Charlo has the issues that he's having at this point right now. So with that, let's go ahead and move forward and get to my final topic before we take another